Hello, welcome, surprise again. Janet McKee here, wellness expert, speaker, author, high performance success coach. I have something on my mind that I want to share with you today. And it woke me up in the middle of the night because I was thinking about it yesterday. And I started to ask the question, what if love ruled the world? You know, that question comes to mind for me because it seems like right now that something else rules the world. There's so much trouble in the world. Right now. There are unbelievable acts of violence, so-called acts of terrorism and abuse. And it seems like that's all we hear about are these negative things that are happening in the world. And there's a lot of focus in the media and the news. And what happens is we get then this situation where these bad people really have our attention and have control of our hearts and mind. So when something has control over your heart and mind, it kind of rules your life. And I believe that we can consider the alternative. So what if instead of this hatred and violence, that love ruled our hearts and minds, and thus ruled the world? So let's look at this. I did some research, and there are 7 billion people on Earth. 7 billion. So let's just say on average, each person does one of these things. Let's say 7 billion people on average just once. So if some people do more than once, that's great, just once. We have 7 million smiles. 7 million compliments that were given today. 7 million handshakes. Billion. So I'm sorry, 7 billion. 7 billion hugs or kisses today. And again, not everybody is going to give a hug or kiss, but let's just say that some people are giving more than one, right? So on average, 7 billion hugs or kisses today. If there are 7 billion people on the planet, that means this year there will be 7 billion birthdays celebrated, right? That's kind of a happy occasion, usually, filled with love. And that means then that 19 million are celebrating their birthday each day. 19 million people on average. It's their birthday today. So, sounds like a lot of love to me. What about this fact? 27,254,366 marriages in a year. Okay, so I looked up the research on this, and there was a big long spreadsheet. It was reported marriages from every country that reported. So from Albania to Zimbabwe. What's strange though is that Zimbabwe didn't report. As a matter of fact, they haven't reported since 1969. Does that mean nobody in Zimbabwe is getting married anymore? I don't know what that means exactly. So we have Albania to Yemen. And in Yemen, there were 10,394 marriages last year. Actually, the report was from 2006-2007 time frame. Okay, so 10,000 marriages in Yemen. Okay, so a lot of love going on here with all of these marriages. So what does that mean then? Let's look at this. There were 130 million babies born last year. 130 million. That is a lot of babies. And that is a lot of love. Think about that. All of those amazing newborn babies. So that means that on average, there are 356,000 babies born each day. Okay, so what does that mean? There are 130 million babies born in a year. Means 130 million people made love over the past year. Okay, so there's some love happening. But let's look at that. That's only those that had a baby. So just for conservative calculations, let's just multiply by 10. So times 10 of the people that actually had a baby this year, times 10 are people in intimate relationships that made love. Okay, so times 10, that's 1,300,000 people making love on average. And I did research that said that on average, again, this is average, couples are making love about once a week. So with my calculations, that takes us to 185 million people making love each day. I know, I had to do some math. So I would say that love does rule the world. Think about it. It's a very small percentage of people that are committing acts of violence or terrorism or abuse. And you've got millions and millions, and in this situation, right? Billions of people every day doing an act of kindness or even an act of love. That is what's ruling the world. So yeah, the fact that these episodes upset us is actually beautiful. And I don't mean to not be respectful for the mourning that happens when something tragic occurs. Because when we are upset and we are sad, it shows that we are filled with love. You know, the opposite of hate, the opposite of love is not hate, it's actually indifference. And we're not feeling indifference about these situations that happen. We're actually feeling sadness. And that is a form of love. It's actually coming from a place of love. But what are you giving your attention to? You know, what you give your attention to is what gets energy. Just like when I work with a health client, if they are dealing with a health challenge, we don't give focus and energy onto the illness, we think about bringing in wellness. So whatever you give attention to is what grows, is what is given power, because it's given that energy of your attention and your thought. So we need to use that power to focus on the love that we already have, that already rules the world, and give it our attention. The more we wrap this world with the attention of our love, the more that will grow. And the more we give that attention and the more that grows, the more that gains power. And we want that to have more power. We don't want to give our energy, attention, and power to that which we don't want. The negativity in the world, the violence, the terrorism. What you choose to focus on is what you're giving your power to. And if we all got together and realized how much love is actually in the world and shared by 7 billion people every day, then that is what has power. Have love on your mind and send it out to the world today. Think about it. You're making a choice as to what you're focusing your attention on. Think about that choice like going to the voting booth and you're voting for the new ruler of the world. Vote for love today. We all need it, and we all need you to do it. Thank you for joining me. I'm Janet McKee, wellness expert, speaker, author, founder of Sauna View, organization that is passionate about inspiring and teaching you to embrace a better life. I love you and have a wonderful day. Thank you.